Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is episode 67 of the Political Spotlight. Let's pause here now for station identification in case any local radio stations out there want to steal the content. We'll send it to the studio for local identification. All right, it's the Political Spotlight. It is 3 after 9 p.m. Live from the, I don't have any water. I was going to say the Ice Mountain Studio. Joey Simpson says, I know some big news that happened today. Whoa, do you? Big news from where, Joey? Good Lord. Joey, do you have, you want to tell us the big news? What big news happened in your neck of the woods or wherever you're talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yes. I did see that. And I was not able to get with the doctor. We'll have to schedule a time to get her to come on. I've got some things I needed to get out of the way and talk about this evening. But yeah, the town of Lapel, which we've been looking at and dealing with and talking with the doctor in reference to both there and in Madison County, they had a pretty big win today. The BZA, the Board of Zoning Appeals, voted 5-0 in favor of the citizens, not in favor of LKQ. So exactly kind of what happened with Muncie and the Whale Sustainable Product situation happened in Lapel. So in Muncie in 2019, the city and a company had went through the process and the company was coming to town. It was a done deal. It was absolutely a done deal. And citizens got wind of this. They got outraged. They said, no, we do not want this. And they came together and they sent a clear message. Lapel, the same thing happened. Speed forward, several years. And here we are in 2023. A company called LKQ was going to move to Lapel. Several citizens, many, multiple citizens in Lapel said, no, we do not want this. We do not think that this is going to be a good fit for our community. And honestly, Lapel even said that we would be willing to talk about having this operation someplace else. We just don't want it where they want to go. We would like to look at other sites for this place to go. We don't want it where it's going to be because of natural resources, water, and the like. There were some concerns. And they were not interested in moving. They wanted this specific area, which makes you wonder why. And Lapel came forward and did what they needed to do. So, yeah, that can happen. The people can still change shit without dumping tea into the bay. Although, in all fairness, I have to say that's getting fewer and farther between. I honestly believe we are getting closer to a point where some tea is going to have to be spilled. And so I think that that's probably a thing. But this was a big win for the citizens of Lapel. I watched the hearing, and there was a ton of bad stuff on LKQ, junkyards. The members spoke about, the bottom line is the company is a big company, multi-million-dollar company. And they can pay for a lot of big attorneys to write up a lot of nice paperwork and documentation saying, oh, we're not going to do this, and they're not going to be harmed in this way, and it's not going to affect the soil.
Is that code for bullshit? Yeah, lawyers can write up a bunch of bullshit?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. Just clarifying.
100%. And so, they can come and do all of that and say all of these things. And, normally the elected officials say, okay, it sounds good. That sounds good to us. And the thing is, you'll get people who stand up and they always say, I've heard in my day that it doesn't matter what you want to do. Citizens will gripe about anything. And that you always get those people that say that. And to some extent, that is true. But there are legitimate times where there are legitimate concerns with issues. I'm happy for Lapel. I'm happy for the doctor. I'm happy for the people. I think there will be a backlash from this. I honestly think that there will be a backlash from this. I think what will happen now is you will see members of you will see members of the community that wanted this. You will see members of the community that are connected to the officials. Maybe the officials themselves, they will kind of start to backlash a little bit against maybe some of the citizens that were against this. And so that'll be unfortunate, and they'll have to stand their own on that. But, it is what it is. It's sad that there's an election coming up and that some of the people who were on the boards making some of the bad decisions, they are currently on the chopping block on the election, but there's nobody running against them. So they're going to get an easy pass into the next 4 years. And then what we have to hope is in 4 years from today, there will have been citizens who at the beginning of the year, 4 years, like January, 4 years, January of that year, that people will have filed to run for office. So we'll see what happens. Jeff says, can Henry County do the same thing with Clay Morgan? And yeah, it can. It absolutely can. But what it's going to take in order for that to happen is people are going to have to come together. They're going to have to get their heads out of their asses as far as it coming to voting and straight ticket voting and straight party voting. One of the big problems in Winchester is, and I'm sure it's the same thing in Henry County as it is in Muncie and as it is in Anderson and as it is in every other municipality around. A large percentage of the population will go on voting day. They will go in and they'll see all the campaign workers in there, and they will walk up and they'll say, excuse me, sir, excuse me, miss. Can you tell me how to vote straight ticket on here? And they will vote straight ticket. And they'll walk out thinking they've done their good deed for the day. They voted for the good Republicans. I'm conservative. I love this country. I love America. I love my city. I love my county. I love my state. I want everybody to be free, and I want everybody to be able to do what they want to do. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to infringe upon anybody. I don't want anyone to infringe upon me. And so, therefore, I'm going to go in and I'm going to vote straight Republican. I'm a Christian, so I want to vote for the Republicans. Problem is, those Republicans don't care about any of those values anymore. I had not heard that. I had not heard, or maybe I just didn't pay attention. Maybe I've heard it, but I didn't really pay attention to the fact that Don Rainwater has been saying, stop calling the people rhinos. They're not rhinos. They're not Republican in name only. They're not Democrats that are. There are some cases where there are Republicans that are Republicans, but really they are Democrats. So you have some of those. But in a large percentage of these people, J.D. Prescott, Scott Alexander, Jessica Piper, not James King. James King is a Democrat who became a Republican. I don't know where Chris Well falls on this down in Henry County. I've not really followed him a whole lot. I need to find out where he's at. But there's so many of these people that believe that they're Republicans, believe what they're doing is Republican value, but yet all they're doing is listening to the higher up. So, we've got a lot of things that we're going to talk about, and that basically kind of goes into kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. Give me 1 second here. I want to make sure that I've got this shared everywhere. Double check and make sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. I just got that shared where it needs to be. What's funny is, yeah, the letter means nothing. The letter means absolutely nothing. The fact that somebody's Republican or Democrat means nothing. Specifically if you're talking about local elections. Something that's really interesting that I've just recently heard, like today, which it would only been in the last couple days, but there is a radio station that is playing my interviews with candidates. Now I've not been contacted by this radio station. From Brandon's response, Brandon has not been contacted by the radio station. Let's do this. Hey, you been contacted by the radio station? No, nobody's been contacted by any radio station. So, they're just playing the clips. And I don't think they're playing the whole thing. I think they're just playing clips of them. And like I'm kind of like weird about that. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that they're getting those messages out. I like that they're helping to deliver that message. I would like to know what are they doing to promote our channel? I'm sure they're not promoting our channel. We didn't pay them anything to do that, but I sure would like them.
And we aren't getting paid for it either.
And we're not getting paid by it. Yeah, I mean they're not giving us any money. Brandon's getting paid. We don't know it. Yeah, listen, I'm happy. Number one, I don't care about me or the channel or Kate or Brandon as much as I'm happy for the candidates. I'm happy that they're doing that for the candidates, number one. Then number two, I'm happy for Brandon, Kate, and myself. I'm happy for the channel. But I would like to know or like to hope that they're out there saying, and for more content or more commentary, please seek out the political spotlight at youtube.com/at the political spotlight. You know, that would be cool. That would be cool if that's, you know, happening. I have not actually heard this. Yeah, Stumblefoot, that's always a worry that could be happening. Now, from the people from the people that I have heard from, that's not happening. That's not happening. They are just playing it as it is. But my thing is, I would like them to, one, give a little bit of credit, you know, maybe say the name of the hosts, say the name of the producer, say the name of the show, say, and to my knowledge, what I'm hearing is they are saying the name of the show, so people know the name of the show. So I'm thankful for that. It would be kind of cool if they would reach out to us and say, hey, just let you know we're doing this. You know, that's kind of cool. So that's the thing. Yeah, Linda, that's not straight ticket voting, in my opinion. And I get why you're saying that, and I understand that. And a lot of people do that. And I want to make sure that people are aware. In the primary, you don't have a choice. In the primary, you have to go in and poll a Republican or a Democrat ballot, unless you just want to vote for school board. See what happens when, this is the comments that kill me, when people jump ahead and break the news before we get to it, like this Audi here. Because then now people's like, who is this? What's going on? Instead of just letting us go in the agenda. Or it's that police officer who has been taken to court 2 or 3 times federally and has beaten the charge. No, Joey, I'm not bashing you. I'm bashing Audie. It's not you, brother. It's and I'm not mad. I knew it was gonna happen. So no, I'm just busting balls. It's no big deal. So here's the deal. It's the police officer that we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but it's the police officer that has been taken to court by federal government and it's been a hung jury twice. I can't believe he took a plea. I honestly can't believe he took a plea. We'll talk about it here in a few minutes. No, it's not a pirate station. It's a big station out of the east side, the Wayne County, Randolph County, Henry County area. It's 98.3 The Star. And so it's no, I'm just messing around, man. That's not a big deal. It's a big, I mean, they're a big-ish channel. They're a big enough channel. I'll put it to you this way. I know who they are and they know who I am. They should easily be able to get a hold of me and just say, hey, you know, maybe I could like steer them in the direction of like where I just want to make, and here's the thing, I want to make sure that they're doing everybody. I want to make sure that they're doing everyone's. So that's that with the radio. So tonight's going to be kind of a catch-all. We're going to talk about a couple different things. We will go ahead now and go into the Muncie police story. Yeah, that was sent to me just a little bit ago. Yeah, but Ryan, you say easy decision. Dude, he beat them twice. Listen, a hung jury is a win. A hung jury is a win. And when he went the first time, yes, Weedy99, I'm glad that you said that. My father-in-law is the head of the BZA in Lapel. We don't always see eye to eye, but I'm proud of his vote and rest of the board tonight. And that is an important thing that we're going to be talking about in just a little bit. That is I love that. I love that. Love that sentiment there. So, let's star that there because I want to talk about that here in a minute. I imagine both hung juries were 10-2 or 11-1 for him to plead. Yeah, but bro, hung jury's a hung jury. The thing is, and maybe we'll never know. I don't know. I'm going to talk to a couple of reporters down there and find out. I got a couple of reporters that I'm connected to, and I'm friends with that maybe I'll see what's going on. I didn't know that this was coming. This seems odd that it sprung. I mean, obviously, look, if he's looking at, listen, 20 years, ain't nobody got 20 years. Hell, Chase Winkle didn't get 20 years. You know what I mean? So he wasn't going to do more time than what Chase was getting. And he was charged with a lot less than what Chase was charged with. So if I was that dude, I would have probably rolled the dice one more time. He is not getting paid. He has not been getting paid. He was getting paid, and then he got the OWI, and then that stopped the pay. So yeah, he's done for now. So yeah, that's an interesting situation there. This is from oops, hold on here. Let me pull this up. Make sure I didn't send this to the places that need to be sent to. Make sure that it gets a few places here. Stand by. Come on. Come on. I thought it was interesting to me that this happened so quickly. I would have thought that, because from the time they got the first hung jury to the time they took him the second time was really quick, but it was still several months. It was still probably several months. And so, I would have maybe made them wait just a little bit longer, maybe. Because you never know what kind of good deal would shake out. And Joy, that's probably the number one answer there, right there. That was probably it. He was broke. I don't know who. Oh no, I guess Ryan said that. Ryan and Joy said that, and that's probably the truth. That he couldn't afford the defense attorney, and that probably is what came down to it. Because if he would have had to try to go, get the same results through a different attorney, then that That might have been it. So, you got to take that into consideration. As well. So, okay. We're done with that. Sorry about that. So, I want to tell you just read you this if there's anything else we've lost from this story without telling everybody. Muncie officer agrees to plead guilty to false reporting after 2 mistrials. Corey Posley could receive 1-year probation if judge accepts agreement. Muncie, following 2 hung jury trials, a Muncie police officer has agreed to plead guilty to false reporting. This is from Kara Kinney at WRTV6. And she's been on this story and on the Muncie police investigation into the abuse of power since the very beginning. Corey Posley filed a guilty plea on Monday, October 30th, in which he admitted to obstruction of justice, falsification of a report. He had faced up to 20 years in prison. However, as part of the plea agreement, he would serve only 1-year probation, including 3 months of home detention. Posley would also have to relinquish his law enforcement certification and could not apply for another job as a sworn police officer. He would also have to participate in alcohol and mental health treatment. A federal judge will accept or reject the plea agreement. No change of plea or sentencing hearing dates have been set yet. Posley's defense attorney declined to comment Monday. Corey Posley was first charged in 2021 after 2 mistrials. The U.S. Attorney's Office said they did plan to pursue a 3rd jury trial against Posley in January of 2024. Posey is the final defendant in the federal government's case against the current and former Muncie police officers for police brutality or attempting to cover it up. The allegations against Posey stem from a 2018 incident in which Posey is accused of writing a report that implied suspect Lonnie Gannum failed to comply with commands. Posey admitted from the report that his colleague, Officer Chase Winkle, struck Gannum's head and neck with his knee, and also admitted that Winkle caused Gannum's injury in the indictment. The indictment read, Gannum suffered facial fractures as a result of Winkle's excessive force. Posey's statement about this incident, including his under oath testimony at the trial, were not truthful or consistent with the facts of the incident, read the plea agreement. 4 other former Muncie police officers have already pled guilty in federal government cases against current and former Muncie police officers for police brutality or attempting to cover it up. During his last trial, Posey testified in his own defense and said that he felt Gannum was not cooperating with his commands during the arrest and at one point pulled his arm away. Posey said during the incident and while reviewing body camera footage of the incident, Posey was focused on his own actions, not other officers, including Winkle. Posey said that when he wrote the report, Posey knew he didn't cause Gannum's injuries. There were several officers at the scene, but Posey didn't know who caused the injuries. Posey testified. Posey's attorney have pointed out that Posey was a rookie at the time, still in training, and that Sergeant Joseph Krasha was expected to do an investigation of Gannum's incident. Posey's attorney also emphasized that Posey wrote his report that Gannum suffered possible facial fractures and had been transported to the hospital. Muncie Police Chief Nathan Sloan also testified and said regarding Posey's report on the Gannum incident, I don't believe it's a lie. Now, this is interesting. I don't believe it's a lie. This is the current chief of police who, ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Muncie and everyone said is, under new leadership and everything is hunky-dory and everything is good. The chief of police, the current chief of police, is saying he doesn't believe that this is a lie. Sergeant Brent Brown, a retired Muncie police physical tactics instructor, testified that officers are trained to document use of force by themselves and other officers. Corey Posey has another criminal case pending. He was arrested for drunk driving after Kokomo police said he rear-ended another vehicle on US 31, and a certified chemical test revealed that his blood alcohol concentration was 0.087, which is above the legal limit of 0.08. A federal judge placed Corey Posey on home incarceration with a GPS monitor and ordered him not to drive. According to the order, he cannot consume alcohol at all or possess a firearm or weapon. Posey is not allowed to leave the house unless it's for a pre-approved meeting, such as meetings with his attorney or doctor's appointments. Federal prosecutors filed a motion following Posey's drunk driving arrest, asking for an arrest warrant for Posey. Posey hit another vehicle and endangered the community with his conduct, reading the motion filed by U.S. Attorney's Office. It's also concerning that Posey felt the need to inform Kokomo police officer Riley on multiple occasions that he is current and active Muncie police detective. Howard County prosecutor filed formal charges against Posey for operating a vehicle while intoxicated, endangering a person, operating a vehicle with alcohol concentration equivalent to at least 0.08 but less than 0.15. He is also the only police officer federally charged who is still employed with the Muncie City Police Department. Following his arrest, Posey was suspended for 5 days without pay from July 19th through July 23. He will remain on unpaid leave pending a hearing by the Merit Commission, which has the authority to fire Posey. And that's the report in the newspaper article. So in the WRTV news, or their article online. So that's that, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see what happens. Now, as far as the feds, they're already looking into Sproles for the whole deal. There's enough of them to go around. They can deal with Muncie's corrupt and also look at Sproles. Hopefully, they are still doing what they need to do. I want to tell everybody that is waiting for them to come out and do something. I want to make sure everyone is very, very clear. The federal justice system moves so slow. Keep in mind that the FBI investigation to the officials in Muncie lasted 7 years. 7 years. 7 years. That means you could have had a guy come on the FBI and in his first couple days be transferred to the Muncie case and been here 7 years. He'd no longer be a rookie. I mean, it's crazy to think that that investigation lasted 7 years. Now, I don't believe for any reason that the investigation into Sproles would last 7 years. But could the investigation into the beanbag situation last a year? Absolutely. Absolutely, he could. Could it last a year and a half? Sure. So I don't know. It could be a while. So keep that in mind. I still don't have the Sproles information. I'm waiting on several things about Sproles. I'm waiting on several things relating to Henry County. One is from the Anderson Police Department. I have not received anything from them. Let me check my inbox because I have not done that in a minute. Let me do a double check through here because I have not looked there this evening. So I want to double check here. And then from there, we will go on to the next little bit. Oh, hold on here. Okay. This is interesting. Good afternoon, Mr. Bilbrey. Attached are 3 items. This is from the city of Muncie. Attached are 3 items returned to me on the request open from May, APRA 2023. Also want information on the roofing bids and all that community development is helping with at 719 West Charles Street. The roofing job is costing $116,000. Gretchen had previously responded on the bid packet, but this item was not included in her response, so it had remained partially answered until today. I believe this closes out this request. No charge since the items provided were electronic. Additionally, I also owed you a response on the MSD rainwater request. I realized I had left one unreviewed. Upon review of 119 emails IT had in that file, I determined no emails were returned related to the subject matters and the parties included in your request. Emails between to or from Counselors Green, Robinson, Garrett, Miller, Dishman, Overby, Ingram, Clark, Selvey, or past counselors Smith, Dudley, Polk, Davis, Ivy, and Mike Robinson, owner of Amazing Joe's, or anyone on his behalf, concerning the Muncie Sanitary District's mandatory federal rainwater separation project and how it relates to the property at 909 North Wheeling. Okay, so that one is done. That leaves you with 2 open requests out of 26 submitted for the year below that is tabled for those requests. Okay, that I do not believe is correct.
Only 26.
Well, yeah, and this is not correct.
Count. That's not
right. I want all emails in connection with this data. Request for emails should include both keywords, subject matter. Which one on is this? Sent to attorneys for review. Okay, but I have not received
I know you're not looking at the screen. Have they gotten back on the tracking costs for the parks?
No. So that's what I want to talk about here real quick. They have, number one, not got back to me about the deal with the park. And it says that Winningham sent me a report. Let me look for Winningham's name. I don't believe that's accurate. Stand by, folks. This is like real time. We're looking here. I don't believe this is accurate at all. was the date on that? September. So let's go back in here and take a look at this real quick. Interesting. Okay. Nothing there. Stand by, folks. I'm looking. This one's a big thing I'm looking for. This has information that I've requested on a police officer, if a certain police officer is working or not working. There. Is Brandon watching? Kate?
I haven't seen him pop up in the comments anywhere. I don't know if he is or not. Do I need to get him?
The only reason I was asking was I didn't know if he or if anyone can answer this.
Oh, here's Brandon. Brandon's here.
And Brandon confirm the date of around when that information would have came out about the park.
Oh, if he can't, I'll go looking.
I just want to make sure. I don't want to call them a liar if they sent me an email and I just happen to not catch it.
You want the very first post?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe they're going to have sent me anything.
September 29th.
September 29th was the first post?
Mm-hmm. In the last few years, Lindsay Parks has seen a 32% increase in attendance. Thank you to our great teams. Note, we've gotten some questions about the data. The city uses a data analysis service that anonymously tracks cell phone data that helps us estimate attendance at local events. It's the one with the 2 data points.
Oh.
That somehow show a trend.
Wait, sorry, that's not. I'm mixing two things up. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you for that. That's good. Okay,
that's
so
not
that
what
helped.
You wanted.
Well, that helped. No, that helped with one of them, and in that time they did not send me anything. So that's good. And then the other one, so what I was currently looking for yeah, so they're going to have to, she's going to have to correct that because I sent a request into the city police department to find out, I can look when I sent this. I sent the request received on 9/5. They said it was completed on 9/18. Yeah, I definitely don't have anything completed from them from Officer Winningham on 9/18.
If there's nothing juicy, go back to your records requests later.
Well,
You'll crawl in there and never come out.
No, this one would be, I'm looking one more thing here.
October 13th was the additional information that they posted about the parks.
Okay.
Brandon and Stumblefoot found that.
Okay, thank you guys very much. And okay, so we're done with this. Yeah, they did not send me. So this is a big deal, and because it relates to the election. Okay, it relates to the election, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the deal is. There is a there's a poll that is working that's in a roundabout way connected to a political aspect of thing to this election. And I requested some information, and they're telling me that they completed it, but I do not have an email, and so I will have to follow up with that tomorrow. That's a very big deal. Okay, so next up, I want to take a look at a situation that occurred today in the city of Muncie. City of Muncie is the actual real life City of Muncie's Facebook page has absolutely just completely devolved into nothing more than a campaign page for the mayor. If you're sending a record request to who they are saying you have to send it to, the response should be coming from that person. So, okay, so I sent a request about employment of an officer. I sent that request to the police department. I was told I needed to send it to HR. When I sent it to HR told me I would be getting an email from Ryan Winningham. They have in their records that Ryan Winningham sent me an email on September 19th, but I just looked through and he had not done that. So, for whatever reason, there is an issue there. So I will be sending an email tomorrow to both HR and Ryan Winningham and saying, "Yo, what's the deal?" So we will do that tomorrow. I want to look at this for a second here, folks. And I don't know. I know it's hard for you guys to see it because it's Facebook. And they should resend that email to you and say, this is the email that was sent to you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask that they do that they send it to me where they actually sent that email. Because I want to make sure that they're not just playing a game. Because what I'm asking is relevant to the election. In my opinion, they might disagree, but in my opinion, it is relevant, and it's not up to them to decide what I find is relevant or not. So, okay. Here's a post from the city of Muncie. Hey, thank you, Weedy. Yeah, spread the word. brother or sister or whoever you are, wherever you are. Well, in lapel. Here's a picture of the Southway Plaza. For the last 6 to 8 months, this has been a dirt pile. Now, in the last few days, they've spread it out and they've, I guess, planted some yard seed and they have covered it with hay. And it's, I guess, a slow day in the city of Muncie that this is the picture that they decided they needed to take. This apparently shows that something is going on there. It shows that work is happening. I mean, to me, it doesn't. Because, you know, some kids could have done this. This is an absolute ignorant, just mind-boggling picture. They say on Friday, preliminary landscaping finished. On Friday, preliminary landscaping finished at Southway Plaza. The earth has been leveled, grass seed has been planted, and straw is down to protect the seed over the winter. And then I think they thought people were going to get on and tell them how wonderful they thought this was. Like, I don't understand. Right now, you're a hopeless basket case. All you did was motivated someone to clean up your blacktop pile and spread some dirt around for the election. Your housing plan brought us the highest rent in Shedtown's history. $1,400 a month is utterly ridiculous in the city of Muncie, especially on the south side. I'd tag your name in this post, but you have me blocked on Facebook, Troy Chester says. As you're scared of my shared housing market info, now you get the administration to post, look at what I did pics on the city's Facebook page like it's your personal campaign page. The city's Facebook page is the city's, not yours, to use for campaigning. When are you going to learn that page is ours, not for your personal use? I despise your non-transparent actions, and if you happen to win, remember this: your job will get harder to accomplish if you do not provide the transparency that the citizens are demanding, and you will deserve every bit of dissent coming your way. In my eyes, you're nothing but a fake-ass Christian hiding behind closed doors so the citizens don't see how dusty your Bible is. Man, this is some, like, definite shade. Remember that verse, treat your neighbors how you would like to be treated? Well, you're not a very good neighbor now, are you? Man, they hate Troy. I love how the city throws crumbs to make people think this project is still ongoing. Don't believe everything you read. Wow. This hard work is amazing. I'm so proud to say we got our bootstraps on and planted seeds. Well done. I'm clapping ferociously as I type this. Oh, God. Andrew Dale. As Paul Harvey would say, and now the rest of the story. Here's what it looks like on this side. You know, the picture where they posted a really nice looking picture looks great. Okay. Here's what's really important. Charlize Jameson said exactly what work has Brick Red done since being on site for months, roughly 18 months since the tax abatement granted in April of 2022. Now listen, folks, that is a legitimate question. They're a private company, but they received a tax abatement. And Dan then wanted to pay them $300,000 out of bond money, which is taxpayer money, to help them with the project. So for them to say, well, we're a private company, we don't want to answer any questions or whatever, that don't fly. And it definitely doesn't fly when the city says it. So Charlize Jameson says, what work has Brick Red done since being on site for months? I mean, listen, folks, when you're bringing Republicans and Democrats and conservatives and liberals together, when we're all banging on you, wanting to know where the rest of the story's at, Dan, you got a problem, brother. Charlie says, I'm just asking exactly how long has Brick Red been on site in Muncie, and specifically what have they done? Taxpayers deserve an answer to those questions. Moving dirt around isn't cutting it. It smells funny. Now, this is insane to me. What you're getting ready to see here. Shireen Wagley says, why would taxpayers deserve an answer from a private business? Hey, Shireen Wagley, put down the paste jar for a moment, ma'am. Quit eating the paste long enough for you to understand Charlize's question. Let me step in here and help Charlize out. I don't give a damn what Brick Red has to say. I'm asking Mayor Ridenour, your boss, what the hell is going on here? What exact work, Mayor Ridenour, has been done since Brick Red began being on site months ago, roughly 18 months since you wanted them to have a tax abatement, and since it was granted in April of 2020. Let me help Charlize's question here. Man, it's bad when Charlize and Shireen are talking. I just get their names all mixed up. I'm just asking, how long is the city of Muncie going to allow Brick Red to be on site doing nothing, even though we've granted them a tax abatement and paid them $300,000 for something? What did that money go for? When was it paid? For what? My sources, because I have asked for records that they have not given me, and they weren't part of that thing that Micah sent me. I have asked about that $300,000, and from what I'm hearing, the city of Muncie's never paid that $300,000 out. Well, folks, that's just as bad as if they had. Because if they haven't paid it out, then where the hell is it? Who's got it? In what fund? What's it going to be used for? Shireen Wagley literally said, why would taxpayers deserve an answer from a private business? Charlize said, the city is involved, as will be the taxpayers. Perhaps the word I'm looking for is transparency. Non Smith said, Shireen Wagley, because of tax abatement. If you don't want the public involved in your business, pay taxes like everyone else. Amber Green says, if taxpayers don't deserve an answer from a private business, then why is the city posting it? You know I don't love the idea of public placing judgmental eyes on private businesses, but when a public entity, the local city government, posts updates on a private property and or business, surely you know it's going to open it up for questions, good or bad, indifferent. Shireen says, Charlize, you know there haven't been any taxes abated, right? The city doesn't lose money as tax abatements are on an increase in value. So they don't increase the value, there's no abatement. Okay, let me clear this up. Okay. Screw the tax abatement. What about the $300,000 There we go. See? You see the games they play? She asked it way up here, way up here, way up here, way up here. And Shireen's first response is, well, why would taxpayers deserve an answer? Well, then when several people come to Charlize's aid and say, like, look, that's a bunch of shit. Then Shireen comes down here with like, well, you know, nothing's happened. Okay. Well, Miss Thang, while you're sitting there eating your paste, what about the $300,000? Look. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Is this a different Mike Jones? Or is this our Mike Jones? Stamp liquor. Nope, this must be a different Mike Jones, because that does not look like Mike Jones. Well, good. I'm going to start referencing this Mike Jones. He seems like a good dude. That Mike Jones says, let me get back to his question.
Audie saying the 300,000 is what was spent to remove the asphalt parking lot.
Well, he better not be saying that because they haven't paid it out.
Well, and then if the city paid, for shits and giggles, if the city did pay to have the asphalt removed, then citizens definitely have a right to know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, yeah. Audie, that money has not been paid out. According to the city of Muncie, that $300,000 has not been paid out yet. So I just wanted to show this. This is gross, man. And there's literally people defending this insanity. Keep up the great work, Muncie. This was an eyesore for prospective investors driving from the south. Partnering with businesses to improve infrastructure is key to growth and developing interest from outside the city. What are you talking about? It was just an empty building before. Then the city of Muncie got involved and they turned it into a disaster site. If this is private property, is this private property? If so, why is the city boasting about what a private owner has accomplished? Is this a joke? When the facts are against you, pound your fists and complain about the complainers. Private developers are getting rich while taxpayers are being fleeced. Preston Cross, of course, says Southway Plaza is on the move. I've been saying this for weeks. Just keep watching and see what good happens at the Southway Plaza. Keep up the great work. Oh, well, Mr. Cross, since you seem to have some kind of magical access to the mayor's innermost thoughts, could you find out where the 300,000 for this project? Please. Let's see what oh no, where did I don't want most relevant. That's a horrible thing. I want all comments always. Facebook sucks. I want to see what oh god, oh god, oh god. Fran Tucker. God, I liked it better when she had me blocked. People complained about downtown, same as now about this place. It took a few decades to get it up and running. Complained about the apartments on Memorial. But that corner's looking good. Constant negativity. But the good part is we aren't housing the FBI any longer. We're paying attorney's fees for corrupt city employees. I will take this slow-moving project over the past 8 years of theft anytime.
It's the old, but the FBI isn't here, so everything must be fantastic line.
I cannot
I'm sick of that shit.
stand it. Susan Seifert, Preston Cross, you are just plain pitiful when it comes to Dan Ridenhour. Always more drivel. Preston, open your eyes. I'd think you'd be out of Band-Aids. Before long, you'll have to eat your words. Yeah. You tell us. Dude. This stupid shit. Let me show you something else. I'm moving off this. We'll get off this. I want to show you this. I made a post about this today. I made a post about this. I literally, I think we might have even talked about this, but I want to show you this. I cannot complain about this enough. Look at this ignorance. Now listen. Pause. I'm getting ready. Trigger warning. I'm getting ready to talk about Ryan Webb. And I don't care if you like him or if you hate him, if you agree with him politically, you don't agree with him. Forget about Ryan Webb for a moment. Let's remove Ryan Webb and call it Counselor X. All right? We're not even talking about Webb. We're going to separate Webb out of it and call it Counselor X. Okay? Post. Barbara Lambert Taylor, one of the biggest Ridenour politicos, politicos that I know of, says this in response to Amber Green. Ryan tries to one-up everyone. Sorry. Counselor X tries to one-up everyone. Notice how he has a comment or question on every issue brought up in the council meetings. He is an elected counselor. Love him or hate him. Want him there or don't want him there. Think he's great, think he's horrible. Whatever the thought is. Here's a woman that literally spends all of her time telling us how wonderful Dan Ridenour is. Oh, he's wonderful, he's wonderful, he's wonderful. How great is he? Notice how he has a comment or question on every issue brought up in the council meetings. Barb, honey, that's his job. Like, I would have a problem if he didn't have a question every meeting. Have more of them. More council members need to have them. Disgusting. And these people want us to believe they are of sound mind to determine that Ridenour is a good leader. They want us to believe what they post when she doesn't understand that it's a good thing that Counselor X asks questions at Counselor X's council meetings. This trigger warning continues because we're getting ready to delve into some serious personal issues. I don't deal with personal stuff unless it sways over into the lane of politics. I don't care who's sleeping with who. I don't care who's got a divorce. I don't care if your politician had an OWI 10 years ago. As long as it doesn't interfere with what they need to do for their job, I don't care. I don't care. The question should be, why do the other council members not ask questions? Yes. Charlize, that is the question. And I very much appreciate that because I know for a fact you're someone who doesn't care for the way that Ryan acts and behaves. And I understand that. And that's your prerogative. And you have that right. And even Ryan would say that you have the right to question, that. I get it. But that you're big enough to say it's not about what he's doing as a council member. The question is, why are everyone else not asking questions? I very much appreciate that. That's why I like you. Because that's the truth. And Barb thinks that she has some kind of ability to tell people, like Mary Stilts and the rest of them, feel like they're some kind of political oracles. Oh, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, Catherine. That's exactly right. Time always tells a story. That's what I always say. I always say that. Time will tell, and it might take a long time, but time will tell. Now, I want to talk about this because we're getting ready to dive into real deep personal waters here. And like I said, I don't listen. People do all sorts of dumb things when they're young. Maybe people aren't necessarily fiscally responsible. It takes some time to learn what you got to do. Some people are just, it's built into them. Some people, it takes time. Some people never figure it out. But I want you guys to understand. This election in Muncie over the mayor's race is coming down to two sides. Side one and side two. Side one is saying Mayor Ridenour ran on improving communication, improving transparency, and improving accountability. He ran on slowing government down. He ran on making things better between the city and the county. He ran on the idea of putting the best people in place. And he ran on making things better in government. He was supposed to be the man on the white horse. I think we got the, he might be part of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I kind of got the man on the horse. I thought he was going to be the good guy. I didn't know he was going to be ushering in the end times. Dan was supposed to be this good guy. Dan be lying. Side one is saying Dan's not doing anything that he ran on. What's going on over here? What's happening with this project? What happened when Dan said this? What's going on with Michael's place? What happened with that solar field? What is going on? Side two is saying, you guys are idiots. Dan is the man. He's a good guy. He's a good Christian. Look at what Jeff Robinson does. Jeff Robinson eats gummies and overdoses in Fort Wayne, but there's no proof. Linda, I fell asleep too. I haven't seen any of that. Yeah, me too. I agree. Side two says Jeff Robinson, he's eating cocaine gummies, heroin Kool-Aid. He's overdosing in the parking lot. He's out with a strange women in Prairie Creek in the middle of the day. And everything's okay with it, but that's bad. Ooh. It's like they don't realize that we could do that too. We could go low. Who wants to go low with Dan? You want to go low with Dan? You want to get low down with Dan?
Only if he's wearing that John Travolta costume again.
Yes. I should have had a picture of that ready. Don't go low on me. We'll get Preston in here. Okay. My question is, Do everybody knows that Mayor Ridenour is... What does Mayor Ridenour say? Mayor Ridenour is the mayor of Muncie, but before he was the mayor of Muncie, what was he? He was a... Does anybody in the audience, does anybody know what Mayor Ridenour was before he was mayor? A punk? A dork? A good Christian who wrote 3 books? He was a banker. He cross-trained. He oftentimes tells us that he and his people tell us that he was a financial genius, a financial guru who's written 3 books. 3 books on how to stay fiscally, relevant and how to avoid the pitfalls of, being loose with your money and, how to keep your credit good. A kid that got beat up in school. Yes, that's probably very true. Okay. Well, I want to go look here real quick. Books by Dan Ridenour. Yeah. Okay. Here's one of them. Financial Folly: Why 7 Smart Financial Decisions Will Lower Your Credit Score. A smart financial decision can create a very negative result to a personal credit score. A smart financial decision can create a very negative result to a personal credit score. Does that seem backwards?
Can you look at the publisher, please?
Publisher?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the publisher?
Look at the publisher.
Where's the publisher?
Product details, dear.
Product details.
Underneath there, see, you got the seafood. There you go. Publisher.
Okay.
What's it say?
Create space independent publishing platform.
So Dan wrote a book, and instead of going and finding like Penguin Publishing or McGraw or all of these really, really big, publishing houses,
Okay.
he's not published by any of those. He did what you could do, what I could do, what anyone watching the show could do. He went and he wrote a book, and then he went and found a company that allows you to self-publish. Amazon, you can do it. You can create a book, self-publish it. So he published his own book. He did not find someone else who said, oh my God, this is the greatest financial information ever conceived by man. We need to put this in a book.
Okay.
He published his own book.
Okay. So not only is he a writer, Not only is he a banker, not only is he a political genius, not only is he a financial guru, but he is a publisher too.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
what's with this blurb? A smart financial decision can create a very negative result to a personal credit score. Like, is this the kind of shit you're learning in the book? Because that does not make sense to me. Am I reading that wrong?
Well, it's like you can have a lower credit score because you pay off all your credit cards and you don't take on any new debt.
Sure.
Okay. So a
I
smart
get that.
financial decision is paying off your credit cards. Yes. Getting rid of them. I would think that's a smart financial decision. But to have credit, you have to be making payments.
Oh, right. Okay. I get it. So, all right. I didn't read along. I get what you're saying. I get it. That makes sense.
He's not incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not some financial genius that everyone was beating down his door.
Oh no. Yeah.
You need to write a book about this. I mean, you are just so amazing.
When did he write this book? Does it say?
He wrote a book and then he said, God, I'm good, and published it himself.
Okay. So he published this in November of 2010. That's when it was released.
Yeah.
Okay. 10. Hold on a second. I mean, let's see when this was. Let me see. You know why I'm laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm Stumblefoot. I'm writing a book on how to live rent-free in Dan Ridenhour's head. I wonder if he will publish it for me if I say I'm sorry.
Okay. So, yeah. So a smart financial decision can create a very negative result to a personal credit score. Unfortunately, most consumers are not aware of these penalties and therefore do not avoid them. Here's an example I remember from a client of mine named Karen. She went from 662 to 593 in 81 days. What had she done? In a well-intentioned but ultimately costly move, she had accepted a zero interest for 6 months offer. She didn't want to utilize her current visa at 19%, believing that the rate was too high. That was the well-intentioned part, 0% interest instead of 19% interest. But the credit scoring system doesn't know what interest rates you or I or Karen pays, nor does it care. Her score dropped to 81 points. It's smart to pay 0% interest instead of 19%. Absolutely. Can that action, even if smart, lower your credit score? Absolutely. This book is about the financial folly that consumers all across America experience simply for making smart financial decisions. 7 of these smart financial decisions are described in detail so the consumer can better understand the negative impact that will occur and can avoid accidentally lowering their own credit score. Lower scores can cost consumers hundreds or thousands of dollars each year in additional interest, higher insurance premiums, missed job opportunities. Learn the truth about these 7 smart financial decisions from me, Dan Ridenhour. Man, what an amazing title. What an amazing cover. What an amazing man. Just every bit of this is so amazing. It's just
that's some riveting shit right there. I can't believe he's not like the next 50 Shades of Grey.
He is. That's the problem. So that the thing is here. Let me see if I've got this, because I want to. This is the big deal about. Let me show you here. I think he. Oh yeah, right here. Look, see. I think he even gives these out to all of the. If you become a Dan addict, he gives you one of his books. Upon becoming an official Dan addict, you get one of these books. Like here, this is obviously Lindsay Coreybury Fink, and she gets the financial folly. What I want to know is, it's classified as fiction. Let me tell you why I think it is. Let me tell you why I think it is fiction. Here is a bankruptcy information detailed sheet where Daniel J. Ridenour and wife Michelle R. Ridenour filed for bankruptcy in 2001. Now, what in the world is Dan Ridenour, a financial guru, doing filing bankruptcy? Now, let me ask you a question. Do you care about that? Like, I guess it's all relative, right? So, can someone have can someone have a crisis in their life, maybe a divorce or something just, going on dramatic in their life?
A layoff from a job.
A layoff from a
An
job.
extended layoff could do that.
An illness.
Mm-hmm.
An extended illness. A situation where you've got a parent that becomes sick and you're taking care of that parent, and one of you or your spouse has to take off work to care a sick child, God forbid. Listen, I don't care one bit. I don't care one bit. But the other side would use this information to crush Jeff or whoever else was in their way in an absolute second. Would say, oh, that person has no business running the, they literally will say that. They will say, we took a picture of Jeff's eyes closed at the council meeting. He has no business running this city's finances. What about Dan? How dare you question my greatness? That's the thing. That's the absolute thing. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Now, mind you, a lot of people initially, when this all came out, said, that's not Dan Ridenour. He says he's married to Michelle. Michelle's not his wife. His wife's name's Sherry. People got to looking. Wait a minute. Dan and Sherry haven't been married forever? They just got married in 2007? Dan's been divorced? That don't seem like Dan. Dan's a good Christian man. And him and Sherry are lifelong partners, and but yet they bring up Jeff Robinson's marriage or lack thereof, and the fact that Jeff might have been on a date with a girl or whatever. Jeff's girlfriend came out of a porta potty in the dark, and he shouldn't be mayor because, hey, listen, I think anybody that uses a porta potty is a sick and a twisted individual. I don't go into porta potties. You guys are freaks. People who use porta potties are freaks. If Jeff wants to hang around someone that uses a porta potty, that's on him. But, I ain't doing it. I do question him. Maybe he shouldn't be mayor. That said, that's the kind of nonsense that's happening. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good putting that up. I didn't feel good putting that up because I don't think it's got a damn thing to do with his ability to be mayor or not be mayor. There's other people in control and in charge of the goings on and the controller and shit that you can do and you can't do. The bottom line is everybody has those little strings that you can pull on and pull on and pull on and pull. You know what I mean? Jeff sets his alarm for 5:30 a.m. Why vote for someone who wakes up half past? Dan is greatness. Just accept it. Oh, it's definitely greatness. It's definitely greatness. I just am so sick of seeing these same people fight over and over and over and over. If I've heard Mary Stilts say one time, I've heard her say it 10,000 times. I don't have time to get in this fight with you. I have a life outside of Facebook. I don't have time to do this. Wait, do you? Is that true? Because all I see you doing is posting this crap. But it's okay when you're doing it towards someone you are not liking. But it's not okay when you're doing it back the opposite way. It's not okay when someone's doing it back the opposite way. The fact that they don't understand that there's two sides to every coin. The fact that they don't understand that what's happening to them is just what they've dished out for the last 4 years. Now, I do got to say something funny happened today. I wanted to get on and I've been very critical of Roe here in the last couple days, and I'm going to continue being critical of Roe. I don't think Roe should be a council member. I don't think she should win the election, and I do absolutely want her to not win this election. Her conduct at that meeting the other day, just in and of itself, is alone to let us know she has no business sitting behind that bench. I commented today trying to ask her when the next committee hearing would be. And I noticed that I was unable to tag her on social media. And she had removed me from all of her social media. I was no longer allowed to engage with her, even though she is an elected official. So I sent her a text message that said, Ro, I'm giving you a little bit of a heads up because we were friends at one point. I am letting you know it appears as though you have removed me from a social media page in which you post government and political content. I can only assume that you've done this because I've been calling you out and taking you to task for a few of your recent decisions as a council member and as a council member who's running for re-election. I just wanted to bring it to your attention that I currently have a First Amendment federal rights lawsuit filed against the sheriff of Henry County through the ACLU for doing this exact same thing. It would be wise for you to reverse that action and to allow me to be able to engage with you. And if you have anyone else blocked, it would be wise of you to unblock them and allow them to engage with you. I want to give you a warning here or a heads up due to the fact that we had been friends. Number two, Do you know when you're going to call the next committee meeting and when that would be? Let me know. I then sent her a picture of the ACLU press release that they sent out. ACLU sues Henry County. And to Rose's credit, I will say, she said, okay, fair enough. Next meeting will be scheduled after the election. So they don't plan to be meeting until after the election, folks. So when you have Republicans telling you that this is Jeff Robinson and the Democrats playing games, you tell them they are all part of the same trash. She goes on to say, I do not want to break the law. That was not my intention to break the law. Please send me another friend request and I will make sure that you are added back. And we did. She did. So I am added back. And I said, listen, if you're an elected official, Ro, you got to be able to take the heat. Just because you don't like what I say to you in one meeting, and just because you don't like that I post a picture of you and call your ass out, you cannot block me or other people. That will get your ass in a lawsuit. Her credit, she added me back. I don't care one way or another. I just want to be able to engage with the elected officials if and when that's necessary. I do have to give her credit for acting appropriately. But now, as far as this meeting, finding out that they're not scheduling this meeting until after the election, hearing what all these people are doing, hearing that all these people are out there making up just absolute horrendous lies. Tell Dan that. I don't know, folks. I don't know. You got to know that one day you, as the elected official, will be the one under the spotlight. Absolutely. Absolutely, Ryan Webb. That's absolutely. Listen, the sheriff of Randolph County has said it better than anybody else. Answer, be honest, give information that you can when asked. If there's information that you cannot give, state why you can't give it. Hold strong in that belief, but explain why you can't. And if there is a disagreement, work in that disagreement. Don't run and hide. Ugh, that was absolutely sick. Where's my water? Ugh. Oh. And ask questions in meetings. Since she won't be elected, does that rule pertain to her? Until she's not here, it pertains. Yeah, that was horrible, Jack. That was just absolutely disgusting. That was, it's making me sick, literally, right now. So, I don't know, it's making me want to beat my head into the wall. That's the name of this episode. Makes me want to beat my head into the wall. All of these idiots, man. All of these flippin' idiots. All of this shit that they're doing day in and day out. This has been the single most wearing election on me personally that I have ever been through. Dr. Pepper. I'm trying to think if there's anything important you guys need to know. 23, baby. Tomorrow's Halloween. Tuesday, the 31st, we will have a extra special spooky show. The Scream Queen will be here. The Halloweeny Scream Queenie. Will be here. Yeah, it is really weird. Mary Nicholson will be on. Oh, there she is. Mary, are you excited? I can't wait. It's going to be fun. What? Oh. We also Mary. Now, Mary, I don't know if I told you this or not, but we do sometime tomorrow. I do have to squeeze in my quick interview with Dark Dan, but I'm gonna pull you. I'll have you on. I'm gonna have you on for the whole show, and so I'll just have you part of it. It won't be long. I'm sure he'll get mad and will run off. I don't think he will give me long, but we'll see. It won't be very long. It won't be like the other ones. I'll talk to you here in a bit, Mary. I'll send you a message, let you know how it's going. Dark Dan is Dark Dan. I don't know. He's I'm hoping my communications director will post a pic of me. And I'm still hoping that we're going to be able to get that satellite connection hooked up just in time. And we're going to be able to get a live, I believe that we're going to be able to have a live connection with you. And so we'll be able to get you from there in the city of Munis. So that's that, folks. You guys, thank you for everything. Remember, early voting is currently going on. Clay Morgan is an idiot. Don't vote for Clay Morgan in Henry County. Oh, yes. Tomorrow I am putting out the picks. Tomorrow I'm also going to tell you, I'll tell you at the end of the show who I believe. Tomorrow is 1 week from the election. And I will tell you who I am. I will tell you who I want to win, who I think will win, who I want to win, who I think will win, and who's going to win. All right. Don't bash your head into the wall, at least until after tomorrow's episode. It should be good. Tomorrow's episode will be episode 68. At least it's not 69. That'll be Wednesday. Too bad it's not episode 666. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and then have a great day tomorrow. We will see you here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Goodbye.